Today's first reading from the book of Kings is often referred to as a renewal. It's Elijah's renewal. And in order to understand that, and in order to understand how that renewal ties today's gospel, we need to go back a little bit and recall the circumstances that surround this first reading with Elijah in the desert under this broom tree. First, we need to know that Elijah has been the only prophet in the last 22 years that has been proclaiming God's word. And the Jewish people, once again, just like when they were in the desert and afterwards, and with all the different kings, have fallen away from the Lord. And they're worshiping other gods. And right now, they're under the king Apollo. And so they're worshiping other gods, and again, he's trying to get them to understand who the Lord really is. And so Elijah has had some success in the last 22 years. Every once in a while, there's a glimmer of hope where the people come back for a short period of time to the Lord, but then they leave again. And just before this incident in the desert, Elijah was really successful. He had just exposed all the king's other prophets as being false prophets. And the miracle that he worked, you'll have to read it on your own time, but it's really a great story, has proven to the Jewish people that God is Lord. And they have recognized it, and they've fallen prostrate to the Lord, and all looks good. Except that upon hearing this, the king and his wife decided it's time to have him killed. Elijah learns that he has 24 hours to live, and he'll be put to death. So Elijah escapes to the desert. And it's in the desert then where he comes upon this broom tree, and if you can imagine, in the middle of the hot desert, that puts out plenty of shade. And he rests there, and he falls asleep. And that's when we hear these words when he goes out there, before he falls asleep, he goes out there to plead to God. He says, God, I have been doing your will for the last 22 years. And I keep running into obstacle after obstacle. I'm done. In fact, his words are, take my life, for I am no better than my father's. He's exhausted. He's been trying to preach God's word for 22 years with very little success. And now that he has, it's been run out. So he falls asleep, and during his sleep, God sends a messenger to touch him. And this messenger in the desert wakes him, tells him to eat and drink. So he does. He falls asleep again. And the messenger comes a second time and says, now eat this food. This food is food for the journey. The journey you're about to undertake to go meet with God on the very same mountain that Moses received the Ten Commandments. And so it's there that Elijah is renewed. He's renewed spiritually. He's renewed in his faith. And he takes this food for the journey. And he travels 40 days and 40 nights to remind us of the 40 years to Mount Horeb to speak with God and then to follow God's will for him. Brings us to today's gospel reading. In today's gospel reading, just like in the times of Elijah. The people are murmuring. They've moved away from God. They don't recognize Jesus for who he is. And Jesus is trying to tell them that I am the bread of life. You see, that other story that we just heard about Elijah precedes, it shows us a glimpse of the Eucharist and the promise of the Eucharist that Jesus is giving us today. And he's telling the people, I am the bread of life. And he tells them, just like in Elijah's time, remember, he was touched by a messenger as he slept there in the desert. The messenger, God's messenger, is Jesus himself. And we hear in today's gospel reading that no one comes to the Father except through me, the messenger, Jesus Christ. And that he's that food for that journey to his Father. You know, don't we all, just like Elijah, kind of wonder sometimes about our ministry and what we've been called to do? And we run into obstacles just like Elijah does. We need to be renewed. Renewed right here at this table of the Eucharist with the food for the journey, so that we might grow closer in our relationship with God, so that we might be renewed in our faith, in our spiritual relationship. I'd like to suggest something. Certainly, all of us here come every Sunday to be renewed by this food for the journey. Do you realize that there is a broom tree here in this desert of Omaha? Everywhere we look, every day of the week. It's called the Catholic Church. And there are masses offered each and every day at a variety of times, where we can come in, and if we're in that desert and struggling, that we can come to him and be nourished with this food for the journey. I'd like to encourage you sometime to, when you're feeling that way, to look around and find a daily Mass if you're not already doing that. And go. Go be renewed, just like Elijah, with this food. It brings us to that eternal life in heaven with our Father.